Well, hello again. It's Hillary. I am recording. Ha! Um, so I've been giving some more thought to what I am trying to accomplish. And it's not really about me accomplishing anything. It's more about I just see such a need in um, the teenage world of today for for advice and kind of take it or leave it advice. But I kind of feel like I need to give you um, some credentials of why I think that I could maybe give you the advice. And I mentioned in the um, I mentioned in the first video that I did that I've seen a lot of things. I've met a lot of people. I know heartbreak, la 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 la. But to be honest, there are a lot more specifics. And so I think it would be helpful if I kind of shared a little bit about what I was like as a teenager, so that like, oh, was she, promiscuous? Was she in a Catholic school? Did she talk to her parents about anything? Did she have a boyfriend? I mean, so many things that go into my background might it'd be good for you to try to find the thing that we might have in common. It's so nice to be able to relate to somebody when you're asking for advice instead of feeling like you're asking them for advice and they absolutely have never experienced that, or they frown upon it, or even if they had a bad experience, that can sometimes just be a problem. But I look at my bad experiences as definitely things to learn from. And I've been through, here I go again, I've been through so much, but bottom line is, um, I'm going to just tell you a couple things about who I was as a teenager. So I'm 45. My birthday, December 29th, 1970. And I grew up, well, I'm not going to give location. I don't know how secure this whole thing is, so forgive me. Um, I, as a teenager, was what I felt to be a total loser. Um, I I always say I was all elbows and knees, and one of my daughters is like, "What does that even mean? Like literally, what does that even mean, Mom?" It just means that I was super awkward. Like I would just like I was really skinny. I was too skinny for my frame. It didn't even look like, oh, she should be a model. It was like, oh, she's really awkward. Um, so that was tough. And I used to wear, oh my gosh, I used to wear long underwear underneath my jeans just to like kind of give myself a little bit of a shape. I totally remember that. God, it was awful. I'd get so hot because it wasn't like it was like winter. I was wearing long johns under my jeans like in the fall. Anyhow, so I'm gonna crack myself up. Be prepared because there are so many things about my teenage years that I have forgotten. But good God, that was a pretty epic one. Putting those long johns on just to give myself a little extra padding. Whew, boy. So I got plenty now. Um, okay, so uh, when I was in school, I was always the youngest of the grade. Okay, so I didn't turn 17 until after I had graduated. No, no, that's a lie. I turned 17 the December of my senior year in high school. So I went to college as a 17-year-old and turned 18 after being in college for 4 months. I went to a strip bar in Idaho. They had a bunch of fraternity boys doing a strip show for charity. I had to borrow a sorority sister's ID card to be 18. So anyway, my point being that I was always kind of on the youngest side of the class, and I developed late. I was a dancer, so not that kind of dancer. I was a ballerina and jazz and all that kind of stuff. I was not that great, but I did do it, and it was a lot of work, and my body was just like, I just hadn't developed yet. So I was a rail. I didn't get my boobs until I was in college, and I didn't pay for them. They're real boobs, right? See, I told you I was candid. You're just gonna have to deal. Meanwhile, I felt very awkward, very immature socially. And when I was in seventh and eighth grade, the girls that I thought were really cool and the ones that everybody thought was really cool were giving blowjobs in eighth grade. And like 20 years later, I hear parents going, "Oh my God, they're giving blowjobs in middle school." And it's like, um, that's been going on for quite some time. In fact, I actually remember Miss Mom who doesn't want to talk about blowjobs. I recall going to school with you and hearing things about you. So, anyway, isn't that funny? We're so snarky. Women were just so bitchy. God, I don't have a ton of women friends because we're just not nice to each other. But anyway, okay. So I digress. Um, Going into high school, that's the time that I'm really going to focus on because I think it's high school time that really definitely is very confusing. Like eighth grade, going into high school, and then getting out of high school. So maybe what I should do is kind of talk about freshman year and then sophomore year, but I I'm not going to be linear, so I'm just going to rattle. When I was a freshman, I'd had a kiss, but nothing more than that. And it was a really horrible thing because this boy I really, really liked asked me to be his girlfriend on the ski bus. And I said, yeah. And then he was a better skier than I was. Shocker. And so I didn't see him all day. And then by the end of the day, I get back on the ski bus and I hear the story that he was like all, flirting with some other girl. And I was like, we haven't even been a couple for like 6 hours and you're flirting with another girl. So I was heartbroken. I mean, that hurt. I remember the kind of pain I felt as a teenager. You just feel it like all over. You don't even know why you're feeling this pain when it just shouldn't be that big a deal, but it's the biggest deal. God, oh, that broke my heart. So I was pissed. Well, I went through the stages of grief, or yeah, I think it's grief, where you're just like, you're kind of in denial and then you get really, really angry. So that happened. I didn't do anything about it. I'm not malicious, but anyhow, um, so that really upset me, and I just felt like I'm a loser, and I'm never gonna have a boyfriend. And then, um, oh, then a sophomore boy took interest in me, and I was like, well, okay. And he was shorter than me. I'm 5'7", and he was a gymnast. Really nice guy, but not my type even. But he showed interest in me, so I was totally psyched. And that's one thing that I will emphasize is don't settle. I mean, even if you're in love with love, don't get involved in that kind of situation because what happens is you end up compromising who you are and who you want to be someone for someone else. Like that's just super important, if you're just doing it to do it, um God, it's just like, find something else to do that you love or somebody. No, I'm just kidding. See, again, don't tell your parents, or if you do, sorry, but your kids, you gave them access to the internets and they're watching me, so, shame on you. Um, so freshman year, I had that experience with that boy, and then he actually, um, broke up with me over the phone because he started liking my friend. They got married. I think they're still together. It's been 30 years, almost. Isn't that crazy? So apparently that was right. She didn't settle, and neither did he. But who saw that coming? I know I cried many nights and just was very upset. And I was trying to figure out, like, what do I do to get boys to like me? And, what do I say? And how do I act? And how come they don't notice me? And what about me is that they don't like? And I never got asked to homecoming. Um, and that always just sucked. Like, I had these fantasies of being like a homecoming princess, and I had fantasies of, like all the popular things that could happen, and to not even be asked to the dance was pretty sucky. I should at some point show you pictures of me from high school. I mean, it wasn't so bad, but it was the 80s, so but yeah, forgive me. Forgive the fashion of the 80s. It's coming back. Just run for your life. Um, okay, so I've been talking 11 minutes and 19 seconds. Oh my God. Okay, so that's the setup. I'm going to stop now because you're probably already done watching. But what I'll do is I'll kind of walk through, my experiences in different categories by year. I'll do my best. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. Um, I'm also going to try to figure out things that you might want to know about. Things like, oh my gosh, homecoming's coming up. What if you're going with a boy and he likes you more than you like him, and there's all this pressure that, he's gonna try to kiss you, and what are you gonna do? And I don't care if you are someone who's like gone all the way, you can still be pressured to actually kiss somebody. It's still just as important as the other. I don't think that anyone should be like, oh, well, she's already done everything anyway. A girl can still be like, no, I'm not going to kiss you. I don't care what you've heard about me or what I've done. You and I are not kissing. Like, that's that. I don't like that people think that they have to take a reputation and run with it, because you don't have to. You can just say, yeah, whatever you've heard about me, most likely you don't know the whole story, and that's very nice. But I know me, and I'm gonna set the boundaries as I see them needing to be set. Okay, my daughters are gonna tell me I talk too long. That's all I have for now, and I will post again. Maybe I'll do it every night. We'll see what happens. Um, and one of you who follows me sent me a really nice text. So I'm going to text you back right now because it was really sweet that you think that this might be helpful. I just would like to know what you want to talk about. Okay, signing off. Hope you're getting your homework done. Okay, good night.